The story of the Road Girl. The events of this story revolve around a young man named Yazan. Yazan was on his way to his grandfather's house. Because of Yazan's work, Yazan had to travel at night. Yazan knew that there was a shortcut that would quickly reach his grandfather's house, and Yazan learned to travel along this road. But Yazan could not know what awaited him. The road was very dark and there was nothing on it. There were no cars and it was not properly paved. Yazan decided to drive quietly so as not to cause any damage to his car, especially since it was new. Suddenly, while Yazan was driving his car, a girl appeared in front of him with her hand on her face. The girl was very terrified. The girl started knocking on Yazan's car window, saying, "Please open the door and take me with you. Please save me." Yazan said, "What's wrong with you?" The girl said, "There is no time to explain. They will come to us at any time. Let's escape from here before it's too late." Yazan did not hesitate to put this girl in the car, as she seemed very worried or that she had seen something scary in this area. As soon as the girl entered the car, 4 people appeared in front of Yazan. Yazan looked closely at the 4 people and was surprised. Yazan did not expect this. The 4 people were not people at all. They were 4 with disfigured faces and unkempt hair, looking at the car with terrifying weapons in their hands. Yazan felt very afraid and started repeating only one sentence, "Who are these people? Are they even human?" The girl said, "Please let us escape from here. They will come to us, and if they come, we may not be able to survive and we will lose our lives. Please move the car back and let us escape quickly." He immediately started the car and drove back to escape these strange creatures. As soon as the car moved, these creatures started moving towards the car. The sight of these creatures moving towards the car was very frightening, and each one of them was carrying a frightening weapon in his hand, even though Yazan was sure of his ability to escape, especially since there was no one on the road, but seeing these creatures made Yazan's heartbeat reach maximum. Al-Aqsa. Yazan managed to escape by car and returned. Yazan decided to ask that girl, "What happened to you and how did you get here?" The girl answered while putting her hand on her face out of extreme fear, "My car broke down here, and these 4 stopped me. I couldn't control my nerves, so I decided to leave the car and run away." Yazan said, "Don't worry, I will take you home and you will be fine." The girl told Yazan that there was a shortcut, and she would reach her home quickly. Yazan said, "It's okay." The girl started pointing out the ways that seemed a little strange to Yazan. These roads seemed deserted and lifeless. Yazan began to doubt what was happening with that girl, but he calmed himself and said in his secret, maybe this girl was in shock and this was the shock, which made the girl unable to remember the road, and all she was thinking about at this moment was escaping this area and this particular road. 2 hours passed and the girl was pointing to Yazan along the scary and broken roads. Suddenly, Yazan looked back and discovered that the girl was still holding her hand on her face. There was a part of her face that was clearly visible to Yazan, but that part looked distorted. Yazan stopped the car and said, "Well, it looks like you got lost. I will definitely drive to the nearest police station. They will help you reach your home." The girl replied to Yazan and said, "No, we have arrived. My house is directly in front of you on the right." Yazan looked at the house and was in great shock. The house looked ruined, abandoned, and lifeless. Horror began to creep into Yazan's heart again, but it calmed down a little when the girl got out of the car quietly and said, "Thank you, sir, for giving me a ride," and that girl headed to her home. Suddenly, Yazan heard strange noises coming from under the car. And that wasn't the only suspicious thing, as 2 disfigured strangers also appeared to weigh in. They started banging forcefully on the car window, which frightened Yazan a lot and made him unable to concentrate. The next day, when the village learned that Yazan had not arrived, they decided to go out to look for him. The villagers arrived at the old house where Yazan's car was. The car was intact, but all its tires were punctured and the windshield was completely shattered. Attempts to find Yazan continued everywhere in that area, but to this day there is no trace of him, as if the earth had swallowed Yazan. Everyone lost hope of finding Yazan again, and this path was considered an invalid path, and no one took it again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.